For the love of money is the root of all evil. Not all kinds of evil. This one says the love of money is the root of all evil. What does this mean? You know, I had a man the other day on social media say that he doesn't need a God because his life is going well. His business, his marriage, and everything else. And I told him, this has nothing to do with your life here on earth. This has to do with your eternity. And of course, he never came back and said anything. He never responded to that. Remember in Genesis chapter 3, where Eve is telling the snake that we can't eat of that tree because God said, if we do, we shall surely die. And his response is that God knows that when you eat of the fruit, your eyes shall be opened and you shall be as gods. The love and the worship of money, when you meet people who worship money, their money becomes their God. They don't look to God for provision. They feel that that their money is their security. Like I said, it is their God. And this is why when you see majority of the time, if you see very rich people they claim no faith in God, they're on drugs or alcohol and things like this because they didn't fill the void that every person has on earth, that only God can fill, because we feel that we should be reconciled to him. But this money becomes their God. And that's exactly what it is. They feel like they are a God because they don't have to rely on God. And it empowers them. That's why you see a lot of arrogance and pride and, snares of greed and things in their hearts. But they exploit people. People that have this love for money will go and try to attain as much wealth as they can and exploit people in the process. And it's behind because it's a lust of the flesh. So it's behind much of the exploitation. But at the root of it is making something else their God. So the love and worship of material things, of everything, the lust of the flesh is at the root of all evil because it opposes the very God that created us. But we see that right now where we're at. The love of money